darkness, in the wilderness, many hopeless souls are lost. But there's a beacon to guide the wandering. It is the power of the cross. We'll hold up the light, we won't be ashamed to go and tell the world that Jesus saves. We'll proclaim the truth as long as there is time. We'll hold up the light, let it brightly shine. Through the years we've seen the lives that He's redeemed, as the message was made known. So we'll keep sharing Christ, no matter what the price, till our Savior calls us home. We'll hold up the light, we won't be ashamed to go and tell the world that Jesus saves. We'll proclaim the truth as long as there is time. We'll hold up the light, let it brightly shine. Send the light, the blessed gospel light, let it shine from shore to shore. Send the light, the blessed gospel light, let it shine, let it shine. We'll hold up the light, we won't be ashamed to go and tell the world that Jesus saves. We'll proclaim the truth as long as there is time. We'll hold up the light, let it shine, let it shine. Dark was the day when Jesus Christ hung upon the cross. God turned His back on His only Son. Satan seemed victorious, but on the third day the tomb was filled with glorious heavenly light. Jesus rose up out of the grave. Death gave way to life. He is risen, He's alive. Jesus came out alive, and the darkness ran away. The light in the tomb, heaven bowed down and cried. Where they laid him is empty, no power can keep him inside. He holds today the keys to the grave. Jesus came out alive. They hung their heads in sorrow. Jesus, their Lord, had died. No reason to live tomorrow. 11 bowed down and cried. Then Mary ran down the dusty road, crying, Peter, come see where he lay. For I've seen the Master outside the tomb, and he is risen today. Jesus came out alive, and the darkness ran away. The light in the tomb dispelled the gloom when Jesus rose that day. Oh, the place where they laid him is empty, no power can keep him inside. He holds today the keys to the grave. Jesus came out alive.
Thomas doubted her story. In grief you imagined this thing. Till I've seen the hands that were riven, touch his side, I will never believe. Then an awesome presence filled the place. Jesus appeared in the room. Thomas declared, my Lord and my God, you've risen today from the tomb. Jesus came out alive, and the darkness ran away. The light in the tomb dispelled the gloom when Jesus rose that day. Oh, the place where they laid him is empty, no power can keep him inside. He holds today the keys to the grave. Jesus came out alive. He's alive.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Pastor this morning, and we are glad that you are here with us today. Today is August 6th, just in case you didn't know that yet, and it is National Fresh Breath Day. Anyhow, good morning. Welcome to a soggy and wet Thursday morning. Feels like afternoon. And, of course, we've had thunderstorms this morning, and it is wet out. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer today with a high of 86 and thunderstorms this evening. So if you're going out tonight, keep that in mind. It's supposed to be rainy and it just is wet. When I came out this morning to come to the church, everything is wet. It's dripping wet. And it must have rained a decent amount this morning early this morning. Anyway, so today is National Fresh Breath Day. If you haven't already considered your breath, you may want to do so. And carry some breath mints with you. The freshness of your breath should be more important to you these days, since of the mandated masks, as more than likely you'll be the only one smelling your breath anyways. I thoroughly enjoyed our revival. I do apologize that we had the couple of services on YouTube were cut short, and I'm not exactly sure why. Last night's was cut very short. And the night before was cut right at the invitation. It looked like it was cut. However, if you did miss those, you can go on the website. We do have the audio recordings in full there on the website, so feel free to look that up on the website. All right, I've got a couple jokes for us this morning. And let me expand this up so I can actually see what I'm looking at here. All right. Two old friends met one day after many years. One had attended college and was now very successful. The other one had not attended college and truthfully had never had much ambition. The successful one asked the other one how everything in his life was going. The one who had not gone to college and who never had had much ambition said, "Well, things are going very well and I have become quite wealthy." "You've become quite wealthy," said the successful friend. "How did you become wealthy?" "Well," says the other one, he says, "I took my Bible and one day I opened it at random and I dropped my finger on the word and it was oil. And so I invested in oil and the oil wells gushed and just that investment went really well. I got wealthy out that investment. So I tried it again. And I opened the Bible at random and dropped my finger on a word. And when I looked, the word was gold. So I invested in gold. And again, it boomed. And he said, now I'm very wealthy from my investments." The successful friend, seeing what his friend had done, decided that he too would go back to his hotel, grab the Gideon Bible from the bookstand, flipped it open, and at random put his finger on a word. The word, when he looked where his finger had landed, he read the words, chapter 11. Anyways, bankruptcy. All right. Oh, that one was okay. Let's try this one. There was a pastor who woke up one Sunday morning and realized that it was an exceptionally beautiful and sunny spring day. Deciding that he just couldn't go to preach that morning and he'd rather go play golf, he called his associate pastor and told him that he was feeling sick and convinced him to preach for him that day. Now watch, I'm going to tell this joke and I'm going to wind up being sick on Sunday. As soon as the associate pastor left the room, the pastor headed out of town to a golf course about 40 miles away. This way, he knew that he wouldn't accidentally meet anyone that he knew from his church. Setting up the first tee, he was all alone. After all, it was Sunday morning and everyone else was at church. About this time, up in heaven, St. Peter leaned over to the Lord while they were looking down and said, "Lord, you're not going to let him get away with that, are you?" The Lord sighed and said, "No, I guess not." Just then the pastor hit the ball. The shot went straight toward the pin and dropped just short of it and then fell into the hole. It was a 435-yard hole in one. St. Peter was astonished. He looked at the Lord and asked, "Why did you let him do that?" To this the Lord smiled and replied, "Who do you think he's going to tell?" Anyways, hey, I thought it was a good one. And you ought to go to church on Sunday. And so, anyways, Friday, don't forget tomorrow to share your verses of encouragement with us in the chat line. Again, there will be no coffee with Pastor on Saturday, and so be sure to share it with us on Friday. Saturday will be contact day. Take the verse that you share with us on Friday and share it with somebody else on Saturday. And then also on Saturday evening, we have a men's prayer meeting at 7 p.m. here at the church. Be sure to join us for that, gentlemen. And it is the men's prayer meeting at 7 p.m. I do have a scripture verse for us this morning, Psalms chapter 86 and verse 1. It says, "Bow down thine ear, O Lord, hear me, for I am poor and needy." When we come to the Lord in prayer, we ought to come with that humility. That God, I'm poor. God, I need you. God, I am needy. I have got to have you. And so when we come to God in humility, he wants us to come in our weakness to seek his strength. Then we come down to verse number 15 of the same passage. It says, "But thou, O Lord, art a God, full of compassion and gracious, long-suffering and plenteous in mercy and truth." The Lord is full of compassion. When we come in our weakness and we seek his strength, he will give us the strength that we need. But we first have to be able to recognize just how weak we truly are. We have to recognize just how strong our God is. And that, as the book of Isaiah says, that he's literally the one who sits on the circle of the earth, and that the inhabitants thereof are like grasshoppers in his sight. Or as Isaiah also said, that the nations of the earth are but a drop in the bucket before God. Understand this, that our God is so powerful, and we have the opportunity to come in our humility. If we try to meet with God on a intellectual level, trying to show God just how good we are, that's the kind of prayer that I believe that God ignores. But when we come in our humility, and we let Him know, God, I am poor, and I am needy, and God, I absolutely have to have You. This is the prayer that He will hear. This morning, before we get ready to sign off, let's go ahead and go to the Lord in prayer. Let's ask God to be with our church as we get ready for another weekend here coming up, and that God will do something special this weekend. And then let's also pray for our city, our community. And I pray that God will do something, a revival, not just in our church, but also in our city. Let's go ahead and pray this morning, and then we'll sign off. Dear Lord, thank You for today. Thank You for the time that we've had, dear Lord, to kind of get together, and a little bit shorter time today, dear God, but I pray that You would help it to be an encouragement to those who are watching now, those who will come and watch later, dear Lord, today. I pray, dear Lord, now that You would be with our church. Dear Lord, do something special through our church, dear God. I pray that You would, I know on Sunday, dear Lord, I've had several new folks tell me that they want to come to church on Sunday. I pray that they would do so, dear God, and that hearts would be stirred by the preaching of Your word. Dear Lord, when we come to pray, help us to come in humility, seeking You in our need, in our weakness, bringing our weakness, seeking Your strength. Dear God, I pray that You would be with our city. Dear Lord, I pray that You would help our community to have peace, dear Lord, but I pray that You would help our community to have a desire and thirst for the gospel of Jesus Christ, that as we labor in this city, that they would be open to the gospel. We ask this now in Your name, dear Lord. Amen. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us this morning. Don't forget, join us tomorrow morning at 9:30. It'll be our last one for the week. 9:30 for Coffee with Pastor. If you liked the video today, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so. God bless. Have a great day.